journalists, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This video is a continuation about the agriculture revolution that is happening in Burkina Faso. Minister Ishmael is very happy about the condition in which everything has been done, the dam, the repair, everything. This means that next year, as the president promised, we might not be importing wheat, rice, and more. 280 plus acres in one area, 600 plus in another area. I put two videos together. I already shared one. It looks similar. It's various places, but I think they all have one connection. The most important thing is our agriculture minister is happy and we are happy, but there are a lot of detailed information in this video. They created or built warehouse for them as well, so no food will be rotting as well. Families, listen. It's long, but listen carefully. I'll be back. Thank you for your time.
The company, the entire project, the significant breaker, the official signatory. Well, today is a truly special and momentous day, and there are a lot of profound emotions because this particular area is an area that's deeply and emotionally significant for us because it's an area that's managing your financial assets truly all at once. These valuable resources, often underutilized by the local populations, were not fully developed or exploited to their maximum potential. However, they did indeed produce abundant and consistent springs, of course. And this particular situation has a profound double meaning because the essential development is meticulously done without any unnecessary surplus production, intrinsically linked to the efficient pumping system, much like the well-known Banzon. But there's also a significant and exciting expansion happening, which profoundly means that when you genuinely believe in its immense potential, you can confidently and decisively go for it without hesitation. I know that the project coordinator, as well as the head of the contractor, were practically like site managers. Yeah, at all times, they were regularly here to monitor things because this is a rather sensitive area. The water source is right next to a somewhat sacred area. It was necessary to find the right ingenuity to be able to carry out the development without compromising both the cultural and wetland aspects, but also to ensure that the area could be functional. There are other constraints related to silting, as they mentioned, that was able to be resolved. This is to say that often when we speak out, when we express frustration as the project owner, as the person in charge, at the state level, it is for good reason, because there are a lot of expectations. And when we find that there isn't the seriousness required, which is necessary for the work to be carried out properly, it can lead us to become exasperated. Today, it is with a great deal of satisfaction and also a lot of pride because we realize that our efforts have borne fruit. There were many comments about the progress of the construction, about the fact that there was no clear outlook on when it would be completed. Today, it is a reality, and I am happy that everyone can come and see it with us. I think this is quite a unique area because it's the natural water source that we collect in order to irrigate. It's quite special. It has real value to the region. I believe there are 3 villages that will benefit from it. 280 hectares for the entire area and 240 hectares of usable agricultural land. That's a huge added value. If you achieve a yield of 6 tons per hectare over 2 seasons, I think you can get an idea of the added value this area will generate in our production or in the overall production of shock absorber. An opportunity to say that we are in a dynamic where we don't look at things subjectively. The companies or those who operate in these areas, it's efficiency and seriousness that we are looking at. As proof, there was a company here, despite all our warnings, despite all our efforts, there was no good faith. And now, today, another company, Burkina, it must be said, it's important to say it, Burkina Faso managed to deliver the site to us really within acceptable timeframes, which allows us all today to be happy, to celebrate, and for this site to be handed over to us. So this is a call to all stakeholders. When we have to work on projects that affect or have a direct impact on the lives of producers and the population, we must approach them with the utmost seriousness. And as the main person responsible with the mission entrusted to us by His Excellency Captain Bilen Graude, it's only natural that at times we want to move very, very quickly and apply a bit more rigor in order to achieve results. We are very satisfied with what we are seeing here. I think the local people are as well, because they were skeptical at first. This is also an opportunity to tell the population to trust public institutions, to trust the state. When the state intervenes, it is to bring something extra. It is to improve their living conditions, to improve their quality of life. And I think that under the leadership of our comrade Captain Ibrahim, there have been so many examples like this, so many demonstrations of the state's commitment. A state that cares about the well-being of its people, a state that is concerned with improving their lives, but also a state that is focused on development and production in general. There is no shortage of evidence, and I think that from now on, everyone, that we find ourselves in a few years needing to revisit this while we are already engaged in other dynamics of expanding areas elsewhere and creating new ones. I think it's a great deal of satisfaction. And I believe the whole world will see that the pressure we applied and the frustration we expressed through those videos are now bearing fruit, as shown by the completion of this area. Worldwide, the governor, who is the representative, administrative authorities at the local level. I don't know how many reports I received from him when this area was struggling and the follow-up was very close. At some point, we came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to succeed with the stakeholders who were on site. We had to make decisions. We have to accept that we are also responsible. We have to take responsibility when decisions need to be made, taking into account the needs of the owner, but also without considering personal matters or issues that are peripheral. For us, the most important thing is people's well-being, truly their well-being. Projects had become accustomed to being cash cows where people come in, the coordination team gets high salaries, and we hold workshops. We travel around, we do activities that have no impact on the population. This is the second area that we have. That makes a total of nearly 1,000 hectares. If we add together yesterday's area and today's, this was done as part of a project. This goes to show that it is possible. And this is what we need to do when we go into debt. We are indebting future generations. We need to make structural investments that will generate wealth and make it easier to repay these loans. This is also an opportunity for us to express our thanks to our partner, the World Bank Group, who kindly agreed to support this work. Of course, as I was saying, it is our future generations that we are committing. But here, we are committing them to a project that has been carried out and whose output will, of course, generate greater wealth and make repayment easier. And tomorrow, we will be able to tell future generations that this is what we did with the loan we took out. I think it's easier to say that than to say we took out a loan to hold workshops, to go on missions, to organize conferences, to pay ourselves high salaries, and to pay for fuel. And I think there are more examples I could mention. This is a call to all the workers involved in this project so that we can have structuring investments in the coming months.
So today we are here for the filling with the water following the completion of the works on the Sindou plain. It is a plain of 280 hectares divided into 3 sections. So we symbolically filled it with water, with the Minister of State in charge of Agriculture, Commander Ishmael SOMBIE, and then visited all the works that have been carried out on the plain. And these works include all the irrigation network pipelines that have been installed, along with innovative water management structures, notably the containment dike to create a threshold and supply the canals. The unique feature of this area is that it is irrigated with natural spring water. It was necessary to channel this water into the canals and then distribute it. The entire area covers 280 hectares. It should also be noted that the system operates without any additional pumping costs. It is a gravity-fed system. The development of the area will significantly impact production in the region. In terms of profitability, it will allow production to double. The yield was 3 tons per hectare. We are aiming to reach a yield of 6 tons per hectare, so that's a twofold increase. The yield has contributed significantly to achieving the objectives of the Agropastoral and Fisheries Initiative, which is the flagship program in the department. And today, advice has been given to users regarding rational management. The infrastructure that has been provided to the producers as well as water management, and we are going to implement a withdrawal strategy for this area through training and the establishment of water user associations, WUAs, which are bodies that deal exclusively with irrigation issues in the area. In terms of scale, within the National Irrigation Program, this is a fairly significant area given its size and also the particularity of the irrigation system. And we have also added the related infrastructure, the PPEs. This will provide the population with drinking water for consumption, as well as 5 storage warehouses of 250 tons each in this plain.
Time building old ones. When are we going to consult? It is not possible. We need to be able to move forward so the old ones will be refinanced. The old structures that have benefited from rehabilitation will have a mechanism in place that will be implemented by the surveyor to ensure routine maintenance and refinancing of the rehabilitation when the need arises, provided that this is taken care of, and that is how it will happen. I dare not count on the full understanding of all the producers, especially those from Penson. I think that you must have unlimited gratitude to Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traore because this plane, I don't know how many times I have been there. I don't know which part of the plane. I don't know how many times I have been there either. The road, you see a completely redone road with an extension. I think that Bizon must now be a large-scale production area in 3 seasons. We said it. There is no longer any question of resting. We produce and in June, on the 1st of June, we sowed, we harvested. In November, we sowed again. In February, we sowed and then in June, we sowed again. That's how it is. We have to exploit the full potential of the plain. I was explicitly informed and reliably told that the diligent and hardworking farmers residing in that particular region, who are deeply committed to their agricultural practices and the cultivation of their land, were facing certain circumstances or had specific characteristics that warranted this communication. This information was conveyed to me through a credible source, providing insights into the local farming community and their daily lives. Yesterday I received a list and I know the quantity that left here. We are monitoring it. Not a single franc will remain outside. It has been paid. I think that everything has been paid and soon you will have the money in your thing. But it is to say that this is a production that has given you something. So we said you do 2 times. 2 rice campaigns. 1 wheat campaign because the place must become part of our production habits. Now we have a goal regarding wheat production, which is to reduce our dependence on imports. There you have it. Really, congratulations to the company that did the work. It just goes to show that in Burkina Faso, We still have companies that can support, be dynamic, have a vision, and do the job properly as requested. And when we pursue them day and night, I know that at times it was difficult with the CEO who was surveying. With a pre-service coordinator, well, there were some hot-headed people. There were threats at times. I myself came here at times. We had to threaten. But when we achieve the goal like today, and we see the results, everyone is satisfied. I think that the entrepreneur himself, when he comes home at night, must be satisfied to have contributed something to the development of Burkina Faso. There you have it. So in any case, and congratulations once again, and of course to the producers. We are now waiting for you at the foot of the wall. There you go, that's exactly what we were looking for, perfectly executed and precisely as intended. Okay, thank you. Our problem is maintenance. There you go. Once there are achievements, we have to maintain them so that they last. There you go. But if we don't maintain them, then we come to find that they are dilapidated. We have to think about it. Every time we have to think about it. You see how well done it is. There you go. And well equipped with furniture and all that. So we have to maintain it well. Field Chief. Field Chief. In any case, I will be under your responsibility until further notice, until we can clearly identify who the occupants are going to be. And there you go. If I come to find that it is not clean, it will be you. So when we say rehabilitated, it means that all the canals of the works that existed have been completely redone. Here are the irrigation networks, and with the improvement works that we had visited, the administrative buildings, the stores, etc. At the perimeter level, a protective dike has been added, and the entire network has been renovated from the deadhead canal to the main canal, and the secondary canals and all the tertiary canals that enter the quaternaries. The development of this perimeter will increase agricultural productivity in the upper basin region. All of this rehabilitation project is part of the agro-pure and food processing offensive that will substantially increase national production in terms of rice, and also crops that are in the introduction phase, particularly blue.
Thank you so much, families, for listening and watching. There is a lot of information involved. For me, I'm happy, whatever it is. You heard IMF. And then I remember our president last month, early last month or so, they've called a meeting and he talked a lot about his speaking parables. He keep repeating that we don't want to indebt our future children or the country. You can hear Minister Ishmael also repeating the same word that they have to pay back so they can build new ones. They cannot let the old ones spoil or leave it like that and then start building new ones. They already started building new ones, but they repair the old ones so the locals can start working before they will complete the new ones. I did a bit research on the IMF because people got millions of views by saying Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president, has rejected IMF loan. You can do the same thing. I will leave you that way. I've added another video to this one because after everything he was interviewed to give into details what happened. This is just 2 or 3 minutes interview. According to the news, it's 1 hour and they will bring it later. I can't wait to work on it to know everything into details. families, the video is long. I'll leave you here to watch that one. Credit to RTB News and Faso 7 for sharing this with us. It's exciting time because I have all the videos from the beginning up to this time on this channel, and that's why I'm happy. And when they start harvesting, we'll be jumping, and maybe some of us will be eating some of it as well. There won't be no more importing wheat and the rest, hopefully very soon. Have a wonderful day. There's a breaking news about Mali. Something happened. I'll see you soon. Bye bye, families. My VIPs, my kings and queens, my returning families. I haven't forgot you. Thank you for your time. Please listen to the short version of the interview, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
The support policy for producers in the meat and dairy sectors, as well as hydro-agricultural infrastructure. We are still with the ministerial department in charge of agriculture. From the radio studio at the basin, from RTV at the basin, Minister Sombie answered questions from Radio Burkina journalists as part of the Tapi Donor program. It will take approximately an hour and a half to thoroughly review the ministry's actions and decisions. A report by Drissa Traoré and Sayouba Mambouni.
During 90 minutes of questions and answers, Commander Ishmael SOMBIE reviewed the major actions of his department. The leader of food security reassures the public. Everything is being done to ensure a successful agricultural season. Agricultural mechanization, support for producers through subsidies for inputs and free fertilizer are among the efforts made by the government, with an expected harvest of 1 million tons of paddy rice, 2 million for maize, and more than 17 million for forage production.
The ambitions are enormous in every respect. As I was saying, this is the second year of implementing the agro-pastoral and fisheries offensive, which is an operational plan we developed, of course, in line with the vision of His Excellency Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, to achieve a level of production that can reduce our dependence on external sources in a short period of time. And this mission, we are now in its second year of implementation, and this is the year when all operations are being intensified to help achieve the objectives. Overall, we believe that by the end of the 2025-2026 agricultural campaign year, it must be said we should achieve, for all the targets of the agro-pastoral and fisheries initiative, attainment rates of over 100%. In any case, that's the clear indication we get from the comprehensive results we observe on the ground, both from the recent wet season agricultural campaign and also from the preceding dry season. And the efforts that have been made make us optimistic about achieving these objectives.
Faso Burgo and Faso Abattoir, two entities born from the vision and determination of the head of state, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, to revitalize the livestock sector and the meat industry. Another area that has made progress is fish farming. Through the use of floating cage techniques, the dairy sector with Faso Kosam is not left behind.
It is necessary for us to develop the livestock value chain in our country. And of course, the Faso Abattoir initiative and the creation of the Faso Abattoir company are part of this vision. We have been approached by several countries that have expressed interest in our meat production. They were therefore very much interested in knowing precisely under what specific conditions our slaughtering is done and exactly how we meticulously operate this entire livestock value chain. It therefore became absolutely necessary for us not only to ensure the comprehensive development of the livestock value chain, but also to significantly increase the added value in this vital sector. And of course, to adequately supply the countries that are actively requesting meat and related products, rather than simply providing them with live animals. It is therefore important for Faso Abattoir, beyond the national slaughterhouses, to be able to control the satellite slaughter areas, especially in major urban centers such as Ouagadougou, Bogodulasso, and Koulikoro, etc. It was also necessary to have an open dialogue with all the fishing stakeholders who were already active on the various bodies of water where these floating cages were installed. Because it must be said, as of today, floating cages have been installed on several bodies of water. In Bagre, we have several promoters who were set up with funding from the Bumuka FA Fund, who have been able to harvest and have found the activity very interesting in terms of increasing their income, and who have committed to it for the long term.
At the Musudugu Dam, we witnessed just a few weeks ago the first fish harvest at Samantene. I think over there it has become quite common now.
The project has taken off.
Over there, that's truly what we can consider a real and tangible success today at this truly important dam, which is very important for the department. Milk and dairy products represent a significant and substantial share, holding an important place among the products for which Burkina Faso is highly dependent on external imports. I think that every single year, approximately 11 billion CFA francs actually leave our country to purchase milk or other dairy products, of course, for the consumption of the general population.
Tapis Donné is a program from Radio Burkina's Information and Reporting Service, welcoming personalities for in-depth analysis of